Welcome back. Time for this week's Capitol Report with Pat McGuigan of CapitolBeatOK.com. Pat, State Representative Randy Grau wants to change the way that the state legislature operates. Tell us why you think that this idea may have some merit.
I don't know if it's Grau or Grau, but he does want to grow government. I know that. And Representative Grau has proposed an interesting idea, which is to do what is done in a handful of states, and that's to go to every other year budget sessions. And he argues that will put some crimp, if you will, or some slowing down on the rate of growth of government. Because, of course, even in the Fallin years, the Oklahoma State government has continued to grow, and the total level of taxation has continued to grow. Now, Treasurer Ken Miller, serious guy, credible guy, has said, no, not a good idea because it's very hard to predict from one year to the next accurately the budget projections, based on what's going to come in. So Miller's against it. He says it's a bad idea and would keep the legislature from being able to plan effectively. All I know is my old late colleague, the great Deacon New at the Oklahoman, used to call, no matter which party they were in, he referred to legislators kind of generically in a pretty harsh way. He called them tax hogs. I just think it's remarkable that Mary Fallin and Joe Dorman, both of whom have served in the legislature, both of whom want to be our governor, have said, this is an idea we ought to look at. So it gets my agreement, at least to the extent of examining carefully the growth patterns in taxation as well as government spending in the handful of states that do this. I think it's worth taking a look at.
Well, and that will probably happen. And speaking of Treasurer Ken Miller, his latest report on gross tax receipts again showed the comparative strength of the Oklahoma economy. Give us some details there.
It's really amazing because the growth rate year over year, September last year to September this year, was 8.2% in government revenues. That's the largest monthly jump in 17 months. The state brought in a total of $1 billion from all revenue sources, which was a jump of $80 million. That's another way to translate that 8.2%. All revenue streams grew, all of them, including the oil and gas revenues that were giving us a lot of trouble earlier. So Miller is uneasy about some of the conservative tax proposals, including ones that I've advocated, but I give him credit for the credibility and straightforwardness of his monthly analysis. Also the same with Preston Dorfinger. The problem is not total government revenue, it's the money that's being taken off the top and dedicated to a lot of purposes, including controversial tax credits, that seems to be the problem with the government in terms of predicting and doing a better job of managing income. So as much as I respect Miller, going back to our first issue, I'd kind of like to see them take a look at those states that go every other year on budgeting.
Well, you can read more about these and other topics at CapitolBeatOK.com. For Pat McGuigan, I'm Alex Cameron. Have a great day.